if you visited the original building, and you get a sense of what the problem really was there. There they had a very internal building with no windows. There was a maze of corridors, and you very easily got lost inside the complex, and you really didn't get a sense of it in walking through it. Here we try to organize the entire building around this central atrium, which gives a sense of the totality of the building. You can perceive all parts of the building from this atrium, and it also serves as bringing natural light into all the internal portions of the building. It's a focal point for the entire organization. From here you can perceive the entire organization. It's very basically organized around the atrium. In other words, the ground level is the general school, the second level is the professional school, and the third level is the company. So you almost can perceive the order of the organization just through the levels that rise up through the space. And in a way, it's like two buildings. On this side, you have the studio stacked in one building, you might say, and the other side, you have all the various offices and dressing rooms stacked on three levels, separated by this atrium, which brings light into, as I said, into all parts of it. The colors, we had a very distinct advantage there in that we were using a new material, which is kind of a high-tech form of stucco, in which you can use almost any color imaginable and obtain a perfect color match and a uniformity of color. So with that advantage, we very seriously try to introduce color into the building, both to get a building that reflects some warmth in the wintertime, and to also get some symbolism out of the color that might be more reflective of what we perceive ballet to be. And we used essentially two colors. We used a rose color, which I guess in our mind suggests the delicacy, the softness of dance. And we used kind of a gray-blue color, which I guess is suggestive of sky, air, and lightness. And that's the basic color scheme that's been used throughout the complex. We're very cognizant of the building fitting into the downtown. And I guess somebody asked me a question once, which I think perhaps is an interesting one, where they said, it's odd, the building is different, but yet it seems to fit in. And my answer to that was that whereby it's a modern building, we try to use some shapes and details that you might see in many of the older buildings around town. And so I think that if one looks at this building, without really being aware of it, it may recall to them things that they have seen in other buildings downtown, some of the older buildings. For example, the archways and the way the detailing of the lines around the arched openings. There's a reminiscence of an elevator form in a portion of the front of the building. And so I guess we really did try to make it a building that was a Winnipeg building and fit it into the Winnipeg downtown scene.
The community at large has already been impacted. Not totally yet. The fact that we now have a building, you could go by our place on Portage Avenue and we were a doorway. People did not know where we were unless they actually took classes. They knew, of course, that we performed at the Centennial Concert Hall, which is where we are still performing. In the last 6 months, since the hoardings have come off and they put the signs up on the outside, I've been able to watch people go by and they stop and I will say, they will stare and they say, you can see that's the Royal Winnipeg Ballet. It's amazing to suddenly have a presence after 48 years, a physical presence in the city. And you can still watch it down there as we come to the opening of the building. The people stop and look and say, the Royal Winnipeg Ballet in a building that's that big? It's quite amazing.
The excitement touches everyone who is associated with the new building.
It's a rare opportunity for any architect, and I'm absolutely delighted, both with the experience and the end result.
This is actually a feather in my hat. Seeing I only got 3 days left, Friday I retire, and I feel really great because I retired on a high note. And for Bird Construction, I give them the nicest building in the 20 years of service I put with the company.
I think the new home could not be better. It's an architectural delight, mainly because of the atrium. The atrium really draws everything together, focuses us into a point of communication. Wherever you look from the center of that building, you can see into studios, you can see different people from offices. It has mirrors and light now where everybody is totally related with regards to that one word that has kept us going all these years, communication. And so it really has the RWB spirit.
Liking is not enough. I mean, everybody is walking around with a smile and everybody is kind of, it's just unbelievable. I mean, I think you'll never can get used to a building like this. I mean, the moment all the dancers moved in, you straight away sensed the right atmosphere. I mean, you know, dances and music, and everybody is circled around the studio. So even if there are people working in the building who don't have directly something to do with dancing, they are close to it, they see it, they watch it, you know. I think that's very important. It's unique. I'm sure it's unique in the world.
Well, take a look at yourself. I mean, the surroundings, to be able to come home to a building like this is not only practical and spacious, but beautiful as well. I mean, of course, it's wonderful. It's like a dream come true.